Let's speak about the institution of slavery and how it built their empire, and how what they have is a direct result of slavery. Because slavery, specifically cotton in America, accounted for 60% of the economy at that time. It carried the American economy. And the profits that these slave owners made from that was immense. We're talking about the average slave owner being able to make $200,000 in profits per year. I'm talking about equivalent to today's money, $200,000 in profits. Now, with that money, you can do a lot of things, and they did a lot of things. They started the banks that you see today, the corporations you see today, Citibank, Wells Fargo, these different oil companies, all these different things were started from the head start and the boost they got from free slave labor. And you black people are starting from the bottom. You're coming directly out of slavery. Right after slavery, you had to deal with all kind of oppression and Jim Crow laws. So you think that all of a sudden you're going to be able to overtake what they've had going on for centuries? Hundreds of billions of dollars of free labor? No. Because what did they do when they got into those positions? When they used that money from slavery to get into a higher position, from the stealing of land that they used. Land is how you get wealth. Land is important for wealth. Why do you think they took the land in South Africa? Why do you think those people are so angry that those South African farmers have those lands? It's because land leads to wealth. You're able to grow things. You're able to have cattle. You're able to have livestock. You get gold and silver from lands, precious stones. So land is very, very important. There's no wealth in a project building. There's no wealth in even a little tiny house with a little backyard. There's no real wealth on that you don't even own anyway. You're paying those same banks that profited from the same institution I'm talking about, the slavery institution. Matter of fact, let's play this video so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. The profits accumulated through slave labor had a lasting impact. Both the Browns and the Taylors eventually moved out of the commodities trade into banking. The Browns created an institution that partially survives to this day as Brown Brothers Harriman and Co., while Moses Taylor took charge of the precursor of Citibank. Some of the 19th century's most important financiers, including the Barings and Rothschilds, these are the oligarchs these are some oligarchs, okay, were deeply involved in the Southern trade, and the profits they accumulated were eventually reinvested in other sectors of the global economy. This is how they got their wealth. This is how they got to where they are, through slave labor. And who do you think they helped? They helped their own. You have to really understand how this system that you're living in works. You cannot be ignorant. Being ignorant is not going to help you. Understanding what's going on is going to give you comfort, because you at least know and understand what is happening. You have a lot of these leaders that want you to believe that these things don't exist. These things are irrelevant. These things are very relevant. And they don't have a backbone to tell you that it's relevant because they're too busy licking boots. We're not in the boot licking gang over here. We tell it exactly how it is. Exactly how it is. And that's not an excuse for you to be a loser and to sit down and do nothing because of these things. And nobody ever says that. They make it seem like because you mentioned the truths of what's going on and how they got what they got and what's really going on behind closed doors in this system, that you're saying that therefore I don't have to do anything. I can live off of welfare. Men don't even use welfare. The women use welfare. Black men don't benefit from welfare. We're working. We're working 2 jobs. We're grinding. we're making things happen, man, as much as we can in this system. But do understand that when they got into those positions, they opened these big corporations that I mentioned earlier. Who do you think that they were helping to get into a good position? Do you think they tried to help black people to get into a good position? No, they used that power and influence to help their own, to give their own land, to give their own high positions, to set them up. And really, a lot of them just basically wasted their opportunity, and that's why their children today are suffering. But also it's because of the evil men that you have running this world that are so greedy that they don't even want their own people on the bottom to have a shot at wealth. Because as you can see, the gap between rich and poor is only increasing, and it was made to do that by design.